Hey people, what's going on? I kind of don't want to really start talking because I want to keep listening, but I thought to myself, it's Sunday night already, and I try to get a Monday. Let me look here. Yeah, geez, it's Sunday night, and Monday try to get a video together for Monday for you. How's that? So, how y'all been? It's been a nice low-key weekend. Again, I've stayed at home all weekend because of the weather. I've had visitors. I can get out with some, with a bit of effort because of the cold. It's below zero, even now, still, here in Omaha. And it's not that I don't know how to deal with the cold. It's just more like it's been an extended period of cold with snow, and we had more snow yesterday, so it keeps accumulating. Anyway, music. I'm listening to this dub techno from Greece. Ion is the artist's name. Hexen is the name of this release. What's ultra cool about this for me is it's on the Kinetic label. And the Kinetic label out of Greece also has another label called In Fact. Here's a sticker for Kinetic. And In Fact Records have released a couple of things by me. This one here is long gone because it was a super limited edition. A limited edition cassette plus CD version of this release of mine from, I think, 2006, Way Stasis, on In Fact Recordings out of Greece. Let's see now. I've shown this before. They made 33 copies, and I have number 33 out of 33. I am most certain these are all gone. This was such a lovely honor when they got a hold of me and asked if they could do this release with me. This is something that I put out back on CDR, homemade. Like I've been showing people lately my CDRs that I make, and then I burn, and then I make the covers. I use iTunes template, and then I cut them, and just like anyone that knows how you boxes, if you've ever taken a box apart, that's how you make the flaps, you know what I'm saying, and then just cut nicely. So anyway, I had originally put this out like that, maybe a total of 20 to 30 copies, and they all sold. This is a impressionistic electronic work here, based on mostly samples. There is some live. There is some actual instrument playing on my part on here. But they put it out on cassette, but the cassette also comes with this limited edition CD. Interesting that it's on black. It's black. It's a black CD. I don't really quite know what that's all about, but it's cool. CDR, apparently. So they do a lot of electronic music. I've got some other recordings on the label that they've sent me. Most of them I like. This one I was really getting into tonight. And mine comes with a sticker and a button. And they reproduced a couple of my collages included in this box set. So isn't that nice? I know some folks have this. I think they're all gone, like I said, only 33 copies. And again, here's the Ion, and it's just the same on black back CD. The Kinetic CDRs, Kinetic In Fact label out of Greece. Savas, if you happen to still be around and see this, thank you for the connection. Um, so I had burned this recently because I have one album by this band, Atoll. Larane Mal. It's progressive fusion, really good band. This is a real good album. And I have never been able to score a copy of it on vinyl. I have their album Tertio on vinyl. Atoll. Really good stuff. Also sitting out, someone online got a hold of me. I forget your name. Thank you if you see this. He was kind, talked about some music, asked me if I knew about Pablo's Eye. Well, I really do know about Pablo's Eye, and there's a direct connection. Here is Devotions by Pablo's Eye. And my former bandmate, and I would still like to consider him a friend, although he is just still quite, well, I won't say that. I just, Stephen Sheehan, who was the lead singer in Digital Sex, plus he played melodica. He sings on this. He's got a track on this, Pablo's Eye. When this came out, I think in the 90s, I was quite jealous, but this is quite nice and quite good. I have one other, maybe actually two other CDs by Pablo's Eye. A very nice package. See how that is? With the text string. So Pablo's Eye, yeah. And Steve, if you happen to see this, actually thumbs up, my friend. This is good work. Holds up, it does. I just played it. A musician of note just had another birthday recently. Michael Giles, the original drummer for King Crimson. Here's a CD of his that's not too well known, with another ex-King Crimson member, Jamie Muir, along with David Cunningham, the composer, pianist. Ghost Dance. This is very impressionistic and not song-based. It's just real, it's deep listening type of stuff. Or it's the sort of thing that it's like, it's just not grabbing you and you have to come back to it another day. But he just had a birthday. I have the first couple of King Crimson albums that he's on, but I have never owned the Cheerful Insanity of Giles and Fripp. That's one that I still to this day would like to get a copy of, and just whenever I had a chance, something else seemed more important at the time. What else do we have sitting out here? I think I've done all the reviewing that I need to, or I'm up to date. But I've been going back and listening to people. And, I put it away, darn it. Lisa Dewey. I was listening to Lisa Dewey, if you can catch that name. Singer. I think she's from the West Coast. Put out, I think, at least a couple albums on the Bella Union label that was started by Robin Guthrie and Simon Raymond of Cocteau Twins. Was interacting with Randy LeMasters, and somehow that led to me. He turned me on to her. Played her CD. I put it away already. Really good. Glad I kept this out. Omaha Hero, Hometown Hero. More than that, though. Buddy Miles. This is the Buddy Miles Express. I think this is 1970. 1969, 1970. This goes way back. Electric Church. And there's a lot of blues on this, It's the foundation of a lot of the musicians that I grew up with on the North Side. Blues, maybe even more so than jazz. And Buddy does it as good as anyone can. I mean, he can just lay down that groove and just drop your head down. But I love how this starts. It's funky with Miss Lady and some good players on this. Buddy Miles Express. Hadn't listened to this in a long time, and I really do like Devo and what they were about, and took them seriously, even though this is their live album, 1980. really poor packaging because it just chews the record up. I got this used, so it plays, but it's really noisy. Saw them on my birthday in 1979. It was unforgettable. They were just still in the yellow suits. This was early on. But Jerry Casale was the, not Mark Mothersbaugh, he was really the leading brains behind Devo getting started and the serious part of the theory of de-evolution, which is so true. I mean, it's like what they were talking about is just look at the world today. Boy, have we devolved since then, and steady sliding further into the shitter every damn day. As far as the cumulative effect of our actions, you know, we have good lives. This is a single that I have. I don't know why I got it, but I'm glad I pulled it because I forgot what it was like. And this is really good. Nobody, which is a DJ, I think from the West Coast, and Mystic Chords of Memory, which is, I believe, a couple. And the guy is from the band Beechwood Sparks. And this is a 12-inch single, which is really unusual. It's got the A-side, which is not hip-hop, but it's got a cool beat, and the words are interesting. I can't remember it right now. I played this a couple times. And then Devendra Banhart, another character. I guess he's associated with, there was this upswing of new folk or something, I guess, a while back. You know how they try to coin and package music and start these movements so they can exploit it and make money? Devendra Banhart, that's when he came up. Joanna Newsom was another name that was associated with that. I had one of her albums, but I sold it. This is really good, though, if you come across this. Another person who passed away recently is the singer Paul Williams, who goes back to the days of this is Dick Hickstall Smith, saxophonist with the band Coliseum. A story ended. Dust in the air suspended marks the place where a story ended. I think this is about 1972. And Paul Williams is one of the singers on here, along with Chris Farlow. And that's a who's who when it comes to the history of British rock. Every player there, every one of them, I could go on about. Of course, Caleb Quay, as you know, Elton John, okay. But Paul Williams also sang notably in Tempest, and then with Alan Holdsworth for a while in IOU. And this is a really good album with, if you know Coliseum and John Heisman, the drummer, he kept it busy. And even though there was blues, this was blues based. Again, that's their roots. Many of these musicians is British blues. Their musical background intertwines, and this is just good stuff. Real good stuff. Here's something that was sent to me years ago to be reviewed. Heaven knows if the person still watches me. 2015, it wasn't that long ago then. No Checks, Plot Defender. This is grimy electronics, not grime, not hip-hop grime. That's another thing. Got to keep my stuff straight here. Hadn't played this since I got it, and really enjoyed the side I played. It's 2 albums, so I need to play more of this. What I thought of as I was listening to it, and what I'm doing more, I've always done this. As much as I listen to while doing things, I come from the background of being a total geek, where what I would do is sit and listen to the music and nothing else, even before I was getting stoned, and not always associated with catching a buzz, you know what I'm saying? Getting a buzz off the music. So I found myself stopping what I was doing today, which is I've been sorting through a lot of CDs and making room and stuff, and just listening to this and what it brought to mind was the idea, or just the picture of a person in their kitchen for some reason with a bunch of electronics at a table making this music. It's not so much that it's lo-fi, but it's like, yeah, I can just imagine someone doing this at home. It's not 8-bit, but do you know what I mean when I say 8-bit? Really cool. Happy, very, very happy to have this room where I'm just constantly rediscovering just all kinds of magical, interesting things with my own music and others. No checks. Check that out. Okay. Here's one that generated some talk. I forget who sent this to me. I love the band from Germany, Can. Bless, most of them have gone or passed on. But someone from the vinyl community who watches, I forget who, thank you so much, but he kind of knew that this would fill a hole. This is a compilation. The classic German rock scene. So I have all the music on the original releases, but I didn't have this. And I just decided to play it, just to play it, since I have it. I love Can. Jacka Liebezeit, Damo Suzuki, Michael Caroli, Ermin Schmidt, Holger Zukai. And when I first heard them, when I first heard Iggy Bamyazi, I was still in high school. I still remember the moment I heard it because I was in mixed company. That had something to do with it. It was so uncool for an American hangout. I was just a kid, maybe 16. So I was like, oh, what is this? Didn't take long after that for it to just completely take over. One of my favorite bands of all time is Can. So I don't collect metal. I've sold a lot. People have asked me over the years, do metal, and it's like, I really can't. I can't even remember all the metal that I have left. This one popped out, and it's one that I keep. Scatterbrain. Here Comes Trouble. I like this band. I saw them when the core of this band was a band called Ludachrist. Saw them when they came through, more associated with the hardcore punk scene. I love aggressive music. I like metal, but I like aggressive, extreme actually, at times. These guys are almost fusion. They're good players, and so it's tight playing, good arrangements. Music is it's funny, it has a sense of humor. They had that Don't Call Me Dude on here, and then they cover Cheech and Chong on here. So this is one that is a keeper, and I end up listening to this all the way through today, Scatterbrain. Now, when it comes to recent metal, someone said they were going to send me some Alcest. I like Alcest. I don't have any on vinyl, but supposedly some of that's coming through. But I was recently turned on to the band Portal, Portal. And that is some heavy, heavy stuff. I don't have anything on vinyl. I'm just looking in my library online here. Well, not online, my library on my computer. Portal, Ion, they have an album called Ion, the most recent one. Vexavoid, just incredible. Those two I have in my library here. Another band, Disfiguring the Goddess, which is almost humorous, and I understand part of it. It's very technical. It's one guy, never tours, just makes these really very interesting musical records. But they have these real cool changes, real heavy, and then it'll just drop down to this little ting on the cymbal, and then it just goes roaring off again. I love it. I forget, like I said, I can't go on with the, so let's see what else is down here. Well, along those lines, here, let's talk about some history, because I pulled some stuff out of the closet. I'm going to go for a while, okay? one of the early rock bands from the 60s that really got my attention when I first heard them. And they knew exactly what they were doing when they started their version of Hush with the wolf. The ow! I can't even do it. Deep Purple. Love some Deep Purple. And when I first heard them as a kid doing Hush, I was hooked from the beginning. I've got a couple versions of this album. This one is on purple. Can you see that it's purple vinyl? Yeah. Another interesting connection here is this label, Tetragrammaton. Again, there's occult meaning to that. Do you know whose label this was? Whose money got this label going? He's in prison. Hardly anybody else is. I'll just say it like that. Bill Cosby. Did you know that this was Bill Cosby's label? Fantastic. Deep Purple. I happen to have some more sitting out because I was digging in the closet. What else do I have sitting here? My verse, I don't have it anymore. But the first album that I bought by Deep Purple with my own money, when it was released as a kid, I was working as a busboy, was Machine Head. It's been destroyed. I don't have it anymore, but I've got Deep Purple and rock. Boy, again, just a must hear. It's just fantastic, you know. I have Deep Purple made in Japan. It's in the closet. I was playing this compilation, 24 Karat Purple. Let's play on that. Didn't play this, but I love this. Deep Purple with the Royal Philharmonic. This is my second copy. I got this as a promo from a radio station as a teen. And I liked it even then. I mean, I really liked Deep Purple. It used to have a white label. It's been destroyed. I won't use the word should. But even then, as much as I love the heavy stuff, I really dug this right away. Still like this. The self-titled with the Hieronymus Bosch. I believe that's the detail here. Alleluia is on here. Good stuff. My roots, bloody roots. Yeah, I got my roots together. So much music. I'll keep going. Well, right quick, I'll just go quickly and say thank you for listening to me. I'm just getting back. I'm completely self-taught on the guitar. Before I talk about No Neck Blues Band, let me just make it a quick aside about my guitar playing, because I wanted to play guitar as a kid, and I asked for one for Christmas, and the Christmas that I asked for it, I didn't get the guitar. My dad bought a guitar and gave it to my brother Patrick. I was crushed. I've told this before. But again, he did the right thing, because I wasn't going to practice. I just wanted to play. You know what I'm saying? He got me something else. I eventually ended up getting a guitar, I think at 15 years old, a nylon string classical guitar, and started teaching myself. But the thing was, I was never interested in the blues. I was never interested in blues licks. Never. When I was a little boy and the blues players would come and jam at the house, they captured my interest, but a couple of them were bad alcoholics and bad guys, okay? And so they had, like I've told this before too, so that has a lot to do with the stink that I have with, like, I don't want to hear the blues, I want to hear some soulful playing of the guitar, okay? So my guitar playing is probably the first people who influenced me to try to play at all were Jack Bruce, Neil Young, Leslie West, John Cipollina of Quicksilver Messenger Service, and Jimi Hendrix. And really about in that order. I know I'm forgetting some, but those always I remember. Like I say, with time, it wasn't the duck walk with Chuck Berry. It wasn't seeing the black guy with the guitar. That wasn't important to me, the color thing. I want to say that. Long as a kid, I caught on. Even before the Beatles, I have to credit my parents and my grandparents for giving me a strong foundation of knowing that even though I was dealing with direct racism and violence, myself and my brothers and sisters and my cousins, we were attacked, on a regular basis as children trying to go to school and do things. But my parents let us know that they taught us we were human beings. We were the same as these crazy white people that were acting like fools, you know what I'm saying? And so that's in my guitar playing. There's this deep feeling in my guitar playing, but it doesn't have to do with knowing blues scales, because actually I don't know too many. I don't, I would just try to pick up. If you listen to the couple things, and I'm going to play some more because I have some shows. I got to get my shit back together. I've got some shows with Egypt coming up. I play guitar. But I don't try to play like anyone, I'll learn songs. I'm learning my own songs. That's what I'm doing and that's been I'll get to this. What I've been noticing, learning some recent tunes of mine is I write them on keyboard, so I just, the melody is not dictated by what I'm playing here. It's dictated by what I'm hearing. So when I've gone to start playing some of these melodies on guitars, they're kind of tricky at first. It's like, I can tell I didn't write this on guitar, and it's good for me, okay? Do you know about the No Neck Blues Band? Can't talk about them too much in detail, but this is an album of theirs that is mostly a live performance, and they are a collective. Improvisation is part of what goes on, but also these folks are people who will just record events, things that are happening. They'll get together and make noise or be together, and you'll record the sound of what's happening. That's part of what's happening here, because it sounds like there's just parts where people are just having a joyous time and start hooping and hollering. And it can be annoying as a listener unless you let it grab your attention. You listen to it. Well, why is that happening? And you listen. It's this interesting, almost like a milieu. David Tudor do you know that composer? I have one of them. Can't think of the name of it, but it's it's installation, the recording of art installations, where the people who are attending the installation are a part of the installation and what's recorded. Interesting stuff. I love electronic music, ambient music. The Orb. This stuff still sounds great. This is the Blue Room. Longest 45 to chart. I think I went to number 8. The two sides put together, this is like almost 40 minutes. The Orb. Good stuff. Someone asked me about that Japanese label, PFS, and I don't have anything on PFS directly. I put it away, but I do have Ghost, the Japanese band that was led by Masaki Bato. I have a couple of their albums on US, but their original releases are on PSF. And I have a High Rise album that actually I don't really like. I hang on to it kind of because of the historicity of the label and these bands. I put the High Rise album away. I'm not going to grab it. But I have this related album, which I also really don't like. Actually, Green Flame. It's like... what this sounds like to me, and I hope I'm not affecting... I don't mean to offend anybody. This may offend, but... This sounds like these cats, these brothers were getting stoned to the bone. Okay, and that's it. Because this is some sloppy shit. Okay? Green Flame. Green Flames. And I bought it not hearing it, but I bought this out of town. And I try to know about things so I can, and because I have limited funds, when I worked, I'd buy a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of that, okay? So when I had a chance to try to catch a hold of some of this Japanese stuff, and I saw this when I had the money, I bought it. I was greatly disappointed. Just played it again, and it was like, this stinks, okay? It stinks. I played this again, but I don't need to talk about it. Pascal and Carla. I will talk about it again. They're talking about it. Find out about those folks, okay? Here is an old psychedelic rock album that has history. Jerry Jeff Walker, who ended up becoming a giant country star. He started out in this band. I think that's him. I've talked about this before. I haven't had this that long, but this goes back to 1969 or so. This is I believe this is their second album, Neverland Revisited. And they're good musicians, and so there's a variety of songs on here. But this is actually quite good after listening to it. The first time it was like kind of in passing, and I was like, no, this is really good. Really good. And I put a bunch of stuff away. So I did play this because I was thinking, this is something interesting where I thought, last time I played this, I didn't get it. But this is really good. Like Weather by Layla. Young lady from, is she possibly Israeli, from the Middle East? Played with Bjork and became a music producer, I think, afterwards. This is, I first grabbed this because I was able to get it used, and it's on the Aphex Twin label, Reflex. And so that was what got me to buy it in the first place. The cover really is, that's not really a good cover, but it's kind of an odd cover, okay? And the first couple times I was listening to this, I just didn't really get it. But this last couple listens, it's like, this is different. This is good. This is indeed one of those people. It makes sense that she worked with Bjork because she has a very singular approach to what she's doing. Really cool. Real cool. I see them up over the half-hour mark, and it's already after 9, and I don't know how long it takes because I go to bed, but it's like it can take upwards of maybe 5 hours for a half-hour video to upload. So I'd better stop here. I do like to, I've got this itch problem. I was bit by something where I've been taking some medicine, but it's still a residual itch. It's better. So that's what you see. I do think that it's, I try to have a coda or ending here when it feels like it, that is couched in connecting the music to everything else. And really nothing is standing out to me. I was really involved today in my record collection to the point that I didn't look much online at news. I have posted a lot of records today and looked at records today. Actually watched another VC video today too. And congrats to Diana Biernat in Germany. She and her husband are opening a record store. Good luck. Best of luck, in these economic times. I mean, again, I have to look. My whole thing is, I'm looking at things realistically. I hope to wish them the best, in these economic times. You see what I'm saying, It's like, that was something I noticed. Several big chain stores in America are shutting down like crazy. Is it Penny's? Who else? I mean, there was someone had diarrhea of stores, That's the actuality of the current economy. I don't blame it on the current president. He inherits the mess that came before. But, the way they try to prop it up and say this is the best the economy's been in a long time is a lie. It is. It's a manipulation of numbers and excluding a lot of data. The collapse of business and the fact that so many people, besides myself, are on survival mode. We're trying to live regular lives, but ultimately we're surviving. That's the reality of what's going on. And I just always am wanting to see a break in the clouds where the conversation, the collective, national and international conversation could start to shift, where we're discussing humanist concerns. We start to talk about sustainability, but not in terms of economics, okay? See, I do understand that, it's everything is driven by economics. Man, I feel like I've lost weight. I probably have, See what I'm talking about? Because I sure don't eat the way I want to. I can't, How about some of you guys? So, thank goodness for the distraction beyond distraction. It is a type of ether. It does keep me going. I feel good. Although, like I say, I'll look at myself sometimes and I'm looking at my neck and I'm thinking, I haven't weighed myself in a while. And I look at my legs and they look like they're the same size, but it's like, I know I'm not able to eat the way I want to, and the way I need to, and I say a lot and it just tumbles out. But besides me, I think about all the people, especially elderly, more elderly than me. I'll be 64 in July. Nowadays that's young, but it's elderly. Can't get elderly perks like we used to. Everything's shifted, But there's folks older than me who are living on crackers and water and nothing, It sucks because when I worked as a social worker, I saw it. I had to deal with it constantly. My mind still thinks about that. I've been away from my job going on 5 or so years now. All the people that are probably dead now. The people I run into, I still run when I go out in public. It doesn't fail. If I go out in public very long, I run into one of my former clients. I always follow the ethic, which is it's up to them to acknowledge someone they've worked with professionally in public, and people are always happy to see me. But I just think about that stuff in relation to the absolute horse shit show going on with the selfish, greedy, bastard 0.1% greedy fuckers that we have that are controlling everything, including the media. The military have that huge chunk of the economy that everyone is getting ripped out of their ass to pay for in taxes and stuff. Do you feel protected? Do we see the results of this? Well, you don't tell me we do. We don't. All this black ops, and off the books stuff, it ain't for us. How can the fuck can you tell me it's about protecting the average Joe? Give a fuck about us? That's just really got to just come through. Because we got to do something, about these elections and these shit politicians. We need to get a smart, poor person in office. In offices.